Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So, here it is. We knew that the God cycle was coming after we saw, well, gods in monocolor. And like, hey, yeah, probably gonna be one for each color. They like to do this kind of thing on the really big, exciting creatures like gods. And, here we go. This one's pretty crazy. Ojer, I'm gonna mess that up every single time. Ojer, I'm gonna say Ojer. I don't think it's Ojer. I don't know. Maybe it's Ojer. Pakpatiq. There we go. Deepest Epoch, a 4/3 legendary creature god with flying that costs 2 blue. Whenever you cast an instant spell from your hand, it gains Rebound. Oh my goodness. Rebound is such a very powerful and very non-oftenly used, I was gonna say keyword, I guess, because it's so very powerful. It's a crazy mechanic because you exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast it from exile, paying its mana cost. So you get another free spell, essentially. Every single spell that you cast is basically delay copied, which is crazy good. Now, there is a slight downside to this, where again, like, you can't recur the spell because you can't get it back from your graveyard because, like, it has, you know, gone away. So, like, if you have any kind of recursion, yeah, that doesn't work with it. But still, the price of copying it to get rid of it is well worth it. This is a decently low-to-the-ground commander. Again, just 4 mana. Just 4 mana for this commander. It's a 4/3 flyer at that. 4 power flying for that. That's pretty crazy. On top of that, with these gods, there is this kind of a death clause that, well, allows you to kind of get around death. When it dies, return to the battlefield, tapped and transform under its owner's control, 3 time counters on it. And it flips over to Temple of Cyclical Time, a land that can tap for a red and remove a time counter from it. So, again, it's got 3 time counters on it to start, right? Double checking, 3 time counters, that's correct. So you tap it for mana, you remove a time counter from it, and then you can pay 2 and a blue to tap and transform it, but only if it's got no time counters on it and only at sorcery speed. So that is not a hard requirement to meet, obviously, but it is one that can take some time to get that god back out. So, yeah, I mean, that you've got other ways around that, though, and we'll talk about some of those here in a little bit. That being said, being able to kind of cheat around commander costs can be fantastic. And again, if you build your deck properly, and you can actually have some ways that can say, you know, we're going to speed that clock up a ton. Because again, keep in mind, well, there's some different ways we can do this. We've got ways to remove counters potentially. We've got ways to potentially untap this and utilize it again to, again, remove more time counters. We've got some pretty crazy things that we can do to ensure that we get back to that front side, which again, is crazy scary because, again, it doesn't matter if we're casting just a small instant speed spell or a big one. We get to copy it, essentially, delay copy with the rebound and get extra value from it. And of course, there's extra value from even copying spells too, so we'll talk about those here in a little bit. But yeah, absolutely crazy, absolutely insane, and very powerful. On this episode, let's talk about the budget buys and the price of your picks. Cards that are less than $1, cards that are more than $1 to consider if you are excited about this commander. I'm sure a lot of players out there are going to be. Make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. Now, with all that said, let's jump into it. So let's jump into the budget buys, and really quick, I just realized that I actually made a quick mistake on the rebound and how, you cast from exile, so actually you can't recur it, right away because it is going to be exiled at first, but you could recur it after it's recast. Regardless, let's jump into the budget buys. Clock spinning, instant for a single blue mana buyback, so you can get it right back if you cast it for that buyback cost. Choose a counter on target permanent or suspend card, remove that counter from that permanent, or put another one of those time counters on it. So basically, or set time counters, but yes, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be removing those time counters from your land to get your time god out quicker again, essentially to flip it back over. So yeah, there's a couple ways you can really play with that. Another one is Joyrus Time Bug. Tap, choose target permanent you control or suspend a card you own. If that permanent or card has time counter on it, you remove a time counter from it, put another time counter on it. A repeatable way to do this, and of course, untap effects already work very well with this kind of a deck because you want to make sure you can untap your commander. Untap your commander land, whatever it is. So you can ensure that if you have, like, multiple untap effects, maybe like a dramatic reversal, which you might already want to have in the deck because it's a very powerful instant, yeah, you can, again, get your god back flipped over much more quickly. Next up, from the Doctor Who cards, we got Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey. Weird name. Sorcery for 2. Time travel, which means for each suspended card you own and each permanent you control a time counter on it, you may add or remove a time counter. So again, just another way to remove an extra counter. And this one does cantrip, draws you a card, so make sure you're considering those time travel type cards potentially. And then also in an easier way, again, Untap effects like Zero Summoning Sands are fantastic, irrepeatable untap effect. Tap, untap, not target permanent, or you can cycle away if you really want to do the same. One off. But yes, being able to get this in play, it's just a great ramp for you essentially early on, or you can untap your lands, you can untap artifacts, you can tap mana rocks that tap for a lot more, and then of course when your god does flip over, if it dies, cool, untap your god land and then tap it again to remove another time counter from it and get more mana from it as well. So yeah, again, having more and more of these untapping effects in the deck can just make it so your god can get like right back out right away essentially, and you didn't miss a beat at all. So then you can cast your instants, like, how about just a low to the ground one like Frantic Search, a great instant speed spell, basically a cantrip, not a cantrip, sorry, a looting effect, a double looting effect, draw 2, discard 2, untap to 3 lands, so essentially you get your mana back right that first time, right? And the second time you cast it for free, because it rebounded, you get even more mana for free, essentially. Now you gotta use it right away, but you got instant speed spells. Also keep in mind, again, with these untapped land effects, yeah, if your god is flipped over into the land, untap the land and then get it back even quicker. So yeah, you've got a ton of ways that you can interact with that land to ensure that you can get it flipped back over in absolutely no time at all. And then yeah, you can really play with that front side with even bigger instant speed spells like Elminster's Simulacrum, instant for 6 mana. For each opponent, you create a token that's a copy of up to 1 target creature the player controls. So again, basically, hey, each of your best creatures, I get a copy of it. And of course, with that rebound, yeah, do it again. So basically, you can get 2 copies of the best creature, or a copy of 2 different creatures, whatever you need to do. Crazy things can happen. Opportunity, another great one. Instant speed, 6 mana, target player draws 4 cards. Cool! But also now, since I get to rebound it, I'm going to be drawing 8 in total. Yes, split across 2 turns, but still, again, with these instant speed effects, you can do them like right before your turn. And you're like, okay, cool, I'll save all my mana, utilize it when I best need it, and then go, cool, okay, right before my turn, draw 4. Okay, cool, I'm going to draw 4 more now. Awesome, I've got an absurdly large hand now. Good luck, opponents. Speaking of which, Dig Through Time. Again, you have some big spells that also don't even count as big spells kind of in a way when it comes to actually casting them, because this one you can delve away cards out of your graveyard, cast for just 2 mana essentially. Look at the top 7, you get 2 of them in your hand, essentially, rest of them in your library. So yeah, again, some great card selection with card advantage built in as well. And yeah, again, another great one to copy. When it comes to big spells as well, you can also make even more use out of them, like a Jace's Sanctum. That can help out a lot. Instant source spells you cast cost once to cast, so again, reducing that cost can help you cast more and more and more instant spells to rebound more and more. On top of that, when you cast an instant source spell, you scry 1, so some extra card selection for you there. What's not to love about that? And of course, if you've got a lot of, again, high-end instant spells that you're really looking to copy, well, you might want to, reduce it even further. Arcane Melee, a little bit of a risky card, but still one that you can take a lot of advantage of because you've got so many instants and sorcery spells for everyone cost 2 less to cast. Again, so keep in mind, it does impact your opponents, but yeah, you're going to be casting a lot more spells than them most likely, so you can really take advantage of something like this. Speaking of taking advantage of casting spells, Tallrun Sky Summoner. Yeah, you can use this as a great win condition for you. Again, you'll be casting a ton of instant speed spells. When you do, you get a 2/2 Flying Drake. Sorceries as well, but you're probably most going to have instants. And again, with each spell, it's basically double because you are rebounding it and casting it again. So 2 Drakes for the price of 1. Lovely. And then, of course, speaking of that, you can make even more spells. Swarm Intelligence. Gross. Yeah, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy it. You may choose targets to the copy. So again, casting 1 instant speed spell with your commander in this in play equals, hey, I get 2 of this spell, and then also I get to rebound it so I can recast it next turn and get another copy. So you were casting 1 spell and you were getting 4 of that spell in total. Gross. But now let's move on to the pricier picks, and yeah, the first one that came to my mind is Nexus of Fate, which is kind of funny in how this works. Hey, instant for 7 mana, take an extra for this one. And rules lawyers out there, please let me know if this does not work. I believe it does, though. It says, if put a graveyard from anywhere, reveal it and shuffle it into Slimer's library instead. Again, with the rebound, it's exiled as it resolves, so I believe it wouldn't be hitting your graveyard, right? It'd just be exiled as resolved. It doesn't hit the graveyard at all, and because of that, yeah, you get to rebound this. You get to rebound an extra turn spell. Gross. Getting 2 extra turns instead of 1 at instant speed. It's game-changing, game-ending, and yeah, have fun with that. Next up, Intellectual Offering. Again, I talked about like Dramatic Reversal, a fantastic card. This is another kind of Dramatic Reversal type effect, but even bigger. Choose an opponent, you and that player each draw 3 cards. So hey, I'm helping you out. We're buddies here, right? Yeah, you don't do anything to me, I don't do anything to you. Make a friend. Also on top of that, choose an opponent, maybe the same buddy, maybe a different buddy. On top, on permanents, you control online permanents that player controls as well. Yeah, this one, rebounding it, getting 6 cards in total for 5 mana and untapping all your things twice. What's not to love about that? And again, yet another way to say, hey, okay, if I got like Vizier of Tumbling Sands play or Jorah's Time Bug, cool, untap those, untap my land, commander, thingy, whatever, and then tap it again to flip it over again. Moving on, Sublime Epiphany. Choose one or more counter target spell, counter target activate triggered ability, bounce a non-land permanent, create tokens copy of target creature you control, target player draws a card. That's a lot of value. And typically you're going to utilize this in an instance where you're like, okay, yeah, I want to counter that. Or, counter that triggered ability or activate ability, and then I get all the other benefits just right then and there. So yeah, you might not get, obviously, you're not going to get the benefits of those first two that you can choose, essentially, the next time you're casting it from rebounding it. That being said, hey, you get all the other benefits. You get to copy 2 creatures until you get to bounce 2 things until you get 2 cards drawn, and again, you get that initial counter too. So yeah, that can be a lot of value for you. Okay, gross value. Continuing, Archmage Emeritus. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. So again, whether you're casting or copying a card, you get to draw. So have fun drawing an absurd amount of cards. Again, every single one of the spells that you're casting, every single one of those instants that you're casting is now draw 2. They are all basically double cantripping because of the rebounding. So have fun with that. And yeah, keep your hand full. And then keep your board full with Shark Typhoon. A lovely, hilarious card. Enchantment for 6 mana. Whenever catches a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token, where X is its mana cost, and the shark has flying for some reason. Anyways, you can cycle it away as well, just make one. But you're not going to do that. You're probably going to get this into play, and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to cast massive spells like Dig Through Time, which rebound, which I get to recast. So then I get like 2/9/9 flying sharks. Mean. Gross. Goodbye, opponents. Yeah, you can do some really gross and terribly awesome things with this commander. But now this episode is coming to a close. It's my turn to hear from you. So yeah, in the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on this brand new blue god. Yeah, God Tribal is getting grosser and grosser and grosser as time goes on. And of course, yeah, this would work great in a good amount of decks out there, especially God Tribal. Of course, as a commander, this thing is just scary. If you're playing against it, you're like, oh goodness, oh no, okay, I dealt with it. Oh no, it's back already in no time at all, because they can just remove those counters with this way or that way. And it's just really, you gotta find other ways to deal with it other than just taking it out. You know, you have to like exile it permanently, or like, bring it back to its, not permanently, goes to the command zone, or bounce it back to your opponent's hand. Because if you just take it out the normal way, the player that has this commander is gonna be like, oh yeah, I've got this way to untap the land, I got this way to remove the counters, and it's back. Yay! More rebound effects, yay! Yeah, rebound doesn't show up too often because it's incredibly powerful. Have fun. So yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. If you're interested in this commander, which I think a lot of players will be, make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. Maybe pick some of those cards up. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.